And we are live. Welcome to NBA Live Before Lock. It is Tuesday, May 6th. I am Josh Engleman. I'm joined by Eric Lindquist. Brought to you by us. Shout out Stokastic. Sign up. OddsShopper, Stokastic, Sims, DFS, sports betting. We're covering it all. You got it all. Get everything we have. It's really that easy. 2 games today. Indy, Cleveland, game 2. We have no idea who's playing for Cleveland. Warriors, Minnesota, game 1. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. What's up, Eric?
Not much. Just ready to rock for my Minnesota Timberwolves tonight. Can't believe we're here. We walked all over the Lakers, and now we're getting I guess the last team that played 7 games looked pretty good yesterday. That was unbelievable. Was that the best day of basketball of the year? Because I can't think of anything that rivaled it, period.
I mean, not for me. Both teams that I wanted to win lost. But yes, it was really fun to watch those games. I mean, I can't even say that. It was not fun to watch the Knicks and Celtics.
Yeah, it was bad.
But depending on what your perspective of who you wanted to win that game was. Like, if you were cheering for the Knicks, you loved that game.
Yes, that's true.
But
I guess
I watched the Celtics miss 45 open threes.
Yeah, Denver OKC was like good basketball all the way around. I mean, SGA was on mid-range, just kind of getting going. I thought it was a fun, entertaining game front to back. And then, I mean, I don't know. I hadn't really thought about a lot of the foul situations. Like, normally I think when you do this long enough, you're always thinking through the scripts because you're always like sweating your lineups. And like, we all played Madden back in the day, so we've always reverse engineered like, this is the right thing to do. And most people could come off the bench and just like figure it out. I still haven't made up my mind whether or not like OKC was making the right decision fouling there or not. Like, it feels like such a 50-50 that I can't make a decision on whether it was a lapse in coaching or if it was just a bad run out.
I didn't like I mean, I know they did it more than once. When Jokic was at the scorer's table, there's no chance I'm fouling. Just leave him out. Let him play without him.
Yep.
Like, they're just going to be less organized in that situation, regardless of like if it matters or not. If he I'd rather have any other idiot out there than him. So
Chet choked. I mean, he got put in a position where he was going to choke too. Like, they put him in a position where, like, how does SGA not have the ball there?
No idea. It was, I mean, like, both of those games just so, like, you got every bit of everything you needed out of Jokic, 40 and 20. Exactly what Greg and I said. Like, well, if Jokic goes for 40 and 20, they're going to be in this game. Well, sure as shit they were. I posted the stats earlier today. 7 of 24 with the nearest defender 6 feet or more away from them for Boston. That's 29%. 7 for 32 when the nearest defender was between 4 and 6 feet from them. That's considered open. So 14 for 56. If there's a Knicks fan around that's just like, we got them right where we want them, you clearly don't. They didn't watch that game because they're going to get bludgeoned for the rest of this if they keep giving up threes like that.
Yep. It was problematic going forward for it. I mean, this is probably going to be a buy low. I don't know. The line already open. I mean, did you see what the line was already for
I didn't.
game 2? I mean, they're giving us no favors whatsoever. Celtics 11-point favorites. I saw it open.
Yeah, because they're that much better than the Knicks. It's like, to me, it's pretty damn clear too.
The Porzingis thing is pretty tilting. I had a lot of Porzingis, but
I was actually under. That broke well for me. It didn't matter in the long. I mean, I had 90% of Jokic. That also apparently didn't matter for me.
Yeah, I had so much Jokic, so much Porzingis, and I knew I was dead going into the evening. But anywho, this is beautiful to see. 1999, and it shouts me out, so I had to put it on the screen. Go me. Clinty Sweat 83. I know this is NBA Live Before Lock. It definitely is. But shout out the MLB Top Stacks tool, which I think should get a lot of the credit. Then my guy, Eric, who, I had a pretty decent day yesterday too, but also he's in Tails in the Discord. He's one of the guys who's just been asking great questions all the time. And then nobody celebrated because he posted it at like 1 a.m. His screenshot. It was like, he screenshots like 5K plus. He either binked or got second in the $121 and just an absolute smash. Yeah, first in the 35K battery contest, 121 into 4K. Just absolutely amazing stuff. Shout out Clintwood 83, my dude.
DFS, Clintwood, awesome. Love to see it, man. DFS Savant. Let's not just think it's 20 free throws and it's 20 free throws. First of all, they missed 14 free throws, which isn't even true. Second of all, 7 of them were Mitchell Robinson, a guy you expect to shoot 30% from the line. So what are we doing here? You're not even getting the right numbers correct.
If you were in Tails this morning, so shout out Jacob Hawes. So I want to give him a special shout out. He's over on X, just a really smart guy who's watched content of mine, and now I'm definitely paying attention to his content. And over on X the last couple months, he posted like this teaser thing where he's like, I'm pretty sure I have this prop, and I was like, I had a feeling it was going to be something like in the free throw department with Mitchell Robinson. Oh, it was 100% Mitchell Robinson. His opening line on Bet365. Free throws attempted was 2.5 for this next game at -120, and free throws made 0.5 -105. Just absolutely jammed. They are now at 3.5, 1.5. That is such a substantial line move. We moved the free throw markets line this morning. It was insane. You once in a blue moon get something that's that good, Josh, but he was a +13. There's like no way they're going to rip him off the floor next game. No. I had said that I thought Mitchell Robinson was going to be short for this series, and well, if you have Porzingis out, that doesn't help. And he was able to just kind of defensively, they're so good with Mitchell Robinson in the interior, and then allowing Bridges, Anunoby, Brunson to just ball hog. I mean, it is incredible to watch. And Mitchell Robinson, those lines were just so off. So I ended up jamming that from a prop department. We only have 2 games today, so I thought I'd throw that out there too as we're starting.
No, you're good. I hate him moving forward too. So I will be very anti-Mitchell Robinson for the rest of that series.
Well, he's going to be very popular tomorrow. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, probably for bad reasons. Very much the wrong reasons.
Can you just attempt 3 free throws and make one of them? That would make me happy, Josh.
Well, yeah, I hope you win those bets. Like I saw some of the data earlier today, and it was just like, oh, they were the plus minus on this combo, and it was like Celtics were like 0 for 12 from 3 when they were on the floor together. Like, of course the plus minus is great. They didn't make a goddamn shot for 2 hours.
Yeah, it was
like,
pretty.
What is it when they shoot average? They're -15.
Yep. And I definitely look at it that way as well. You get some of these, and that's the difficult part of this, is that sometimes you take small sample size and you make them the Bible because it's playoff games as opposed to regular season games. And I totally understand that portion of it too, because the game does change. We're going to see minutes depreciate for Peyton Pritchard throughout, this series into the next series, into the next series. We're going to see it happen for Mitchell Robinson, where it's like, well, we can't have Mitchell Robinson out there down 6 in the last 5 minutes ever. So there's just so many ways and so many outs where you're going to need other things like your top guys on the floor, as opposed to some of these ancillary pieces that just aren't long for playoff basketball. But yeah, it's a small sample size, but it's a very loud sample size when a team shoots 15 for 60 from 3 for sure.
You want to talk some basketball?
Let's do it.
All right. We're not talking about the Pacers and the Cavs right now. It's not worth our time. We don't have a fucking clue who's playing for Cleveland. Garland's questionable. Mobley's questionable. DeAndre Hunter's questionable. None of them are at shoot around. I don't know what to read into that. I expect someone to play in that group. I don't know who that's going to be. Seems like Garland's not playing, but we'll wait that out until 6:30. Let's talk your Minnesota Timberwolves and the Golden State Warriors. Warriors are 6.5 point dogs in Minnesota, 209 total. We've got about 30% ownership coming into Steph, Jimmy, and Draymond. Around 25 for Hield and Pods, 10 to 15 on Peyton and Moody. Still need to wait on a starting lineup for Golden State. We have no idea who that's going to be today. I mean, I think we can pretty confidently say it's Curry, Butler, and Draymond. Those final 2 names, I don't have a ton of confidence in figuring it out. So we need the Peyton questionable tag. My guess is it's Peyton and Hield if they're both in, and it's Pajemski and Hield otherwise. But how do you feel about Golden State as a Minnesota fan here today?
So I think pretty close to where ownership's at. I'm looking at my exposures here now. I took out Darius Garland. I took out Evan Mobley. I did a couple of things to try to get a better idea of exactly where we could land on this slate. Obviously we have to be very careful as far as pulling guys out of projections, because God forbid they end up in, and then we have to do everything from scratch there and people build lineups without them. And then they start flipping us off. But I look at right now, Draymond Green being the guy by far on the Golden State side that I have the most of, 43% of him. Buddy Hield's next for me at 19%. So there's a chasm, I think, between Draymond Green, just with the positionality, sub 6K price tag. And as long as he doesn't put Rudy Gobert in a headlock again, I think he should be primed to play 34, 35 minutes and be pretty set up in this spot. But yeah, I have virtually no exposure on anyone else in Golden State other than those two. I have 43%, and this is with everybody taken out for what it's worth. 43% of Draymond Green. I just don't see a world where I don't play a little bit of Buddy Hield, 19% of him at the moment. And then it's all the way down to 5% for Moses Moody. I'm way under on Golden State this slate.
I'm a little under on most of these guys as well. I'm right there with you on Draymond. We did just get a little message from a friend of the program, DK DFS. The beat writers just said they would be surprised if any of them play. Oof.
I mean, there was no Garland, no Mobley, no Hunter at shoot around. That seems bad.
Apparently, Garland and Hunter are not on the floor during warmups right now. So
Garland and Hunter. Is Mobley warming up with the ankle?
I got tagged on Twitter, and it was just Garland and Hunter's name in the tweet. So I'm not entirely sure right now.
Yeah, this isn't the time of year.
We're gonna know this in 15 minutes. We don't have to guess.
Yeah, I know, but it's still just kind of like for the sake of the conversation. But shout out. Yeah.
Well, that's why I pushed this conversation to 6:30 and we're on the Warriors.
Totally. But I love having the update. I mean, DK.
No, it's not you.
Crushing it. Yeah. He's just
we're good.
crashing. He got so much CLV on some shit. So last night I was doing like I always do. I mean, I always end up in this chair until like my work day always feels like it starts right about now because I'm here until forever. Yeah. Probably not warming up either. That's great to know. But I fired up Jared Allen. I was like, I might as well play a couple double bets just in case. I did some 10 and 10 or some 15 and 10. And then I just saw double minus 120 DK. And that was also on Onyx odds. So I jammed that and I was like, all right, let's fire that up. So it was my minus 205 on that side right now. I think minus 170 best available. So like we're sitting in a pretty good spot with some CLV, but he got even more ridiculous. He's got some game stacks that I tailed in the prize pick streets. And I mean, man, is he ahead of the curve when it comes to news. So definitely I would say the sharpest when it comes to evaluating news in the NBA betting streets.
I'm going to give this my best shot. Shahryar Mansour.
That sounded perfect, actually. That's a great sounding name. Yeah, that was a great sounding
name. Second place on NBA 30K Jab Step. Thank you, guys. Thank you, man. Thanks for the super chat. Good to see. Got a nice little second place. Feels good. Jealous. Wish I did. Congrats, for real. Send that into OddsShopper or Stokastic Hall of Fame.
Nice little 2K takedown there, or 3K takedown. Yeah, 5-2. Yeah, it'd be the 2K number. That's fantastic. Love to see it.
That's perfect. I'll take it. Don't lie to me. You can tell me I butchered it. I don't mind.
It's perfect, he says.
I gave him my best shot. Quick peek on FanDuel for the Golden State side. Just shy of 50% ownership on Steph. Just shy of 50% ownership on Butler. Pod's actually your third highest owned guy from the Warriors at 37%. Just good flexibility. Draymond's still looking good at 30% owned. You've got Peyton and Hield in that same sort of area. Moody bringing up the rear. I do find Moody very interesting if Peyton is out or if Buddy Hield shoots like he did in every game that wasn't game 7.
That's a good way of putting it. I mean, they're going to need Buddy Hield to do Buddy Hield. I mean, he's playing Klay Thompson role now. Like that, he's the new Klay Thompson. Yeah. So shout out Buddy Hield. Playing off ball. Jimmy Butler doesn't want him to dribble. Let's it be known. And here you go. It's a great way to play basketball if you're Buddy Hield. You get to do what you want to do and what you're best at all the time without any other regard. What is it, Duke? The hell?
Do you like Buddy Hield?
I guess so. I mean, this is he's just staring at me. What are you doing, bud? What are you doing?
I know that feeling.
What in the world? Oh, just a massive tail behind me now. All right. Can you sit?
He's promoting tails now? That's insane.
It's a good call. It's a good shout out. Good shout out. But anyway, the main thing as far as Golden State goes on FanDuel is Steph Curry. Like, if you want Steph Curry exposure, you play him on FanDuel, right? Like, this is you just switch it off. But 8,800 is where he's at on FanDuel. And the more that you build out on DK, the more I just realize I'm not going to be playing Steph Curry and I'm going to have a massive short. I think this is a great day to be playing both sites. I'm not playing both sites, unfortunately, but Steph Curry, when I was building stuff out before the show, was showing up a ton. And then, I mean, with 4 guard spots to be able to utilize and move guys around, depending what happens here with the Cleveland pieces of news, I think it's just easier to land on Steph. Whereas, like, how do you get away from some of these Cleveland guys if we get Garland out, if we get Hunter out, if we get Mobley out? I mean, the guard spot's just going to be Donovan Mitchell, Ty Jerome, and rotating around value. So, like, it's hard for me to get to Steph on DK. FanDuel, you definitely want exposure and a lot of it.
I wish I had like more interesting takes for Golden State right now.
They're the least appealing team on the slate outside of Indy.
It's game 1 of a new series and Steve Kerr's the coach. I would be lying to you guys if I said I had a thought process on what he's going to do. Like, is this a series where Looney plays more? Is this a series where Quentin Post plays more? And you try to stretch the floor a little bit. Both of those things are possible. They could also both get played right off the floor. Do they dust off Kuminga? I don't know. Anything is on the table for Golden State in game 1. So I would like to corner the market on Curry, Butler, and Green, because at least those guys aren't coming off the floor if it's anything real. But I am light on Curry right now. I am light on Butler. I don't care at all about what those ownership numbers say, because I think in 11 minutes, we're going to take 3 guys out of the Cavs lineup and the entire slate is going to be different. All of the context that we've talked about is going to be different. I have no interest in giving out DFS context today until we get the Cavs lineup. Because the way you play Steph Curry is different right now than it is if Evan Mobley, Darius Garland, and DeAndre Hunter aren't playing.
For what it's worth, I did take them out on DK for the time. And I really think it makes tons of sense to have Steph Curry, locked and loaded, to have a little bit more than I do on DK. Like, that's fine. But I will say, when you take those guys out, my favorite tournament plays are like Craig Porter Jr. are like way off the board guys there. Like, I think Craig Porter Jr. is going to play more. He was the guy at Shoot Around who was actually putting stuff up. If you watch the video, he was the one like putting in actual work to like get ready to go tonight. Ty Jerome had a starter's jersey on. There were a lot of weird things. If you went through, again, I'm not going to rehash everything that I saw on X today as I was combing through, but the nice part is Quentin Post and Looney being where they're at, and then the position where we have Turner, and then Allen could just look outrageous for everybody here at about 15 minutes. So, like, I don't think there's a world where we need to worry too much about Post and Looney. Like, I do think Post is the guy who could go out and chuck 25, or put up 25 fantasy points. Like, come on, Looney. Is he going to find like 15 boards against Gobert, double? Like, I don't know. It just feels like Post is the guy. If I had to pick one of the two, I'd go that direction. But I have 0 and probably going to be 0. Bye.
That's the interesting thing, because if we get the Cleveland news, guys like Quentin Post and Kevon Looney are way less interesting because their value we don't get the same utility out of those guys now.
Yep. Yeah, there's
no better options.
Yeah, we have, again, the cheap guys I get to try to roll the dice with are Craig Porter. Like, Jalen Tyson is going to be somebody we actually need to have a conversation about in 10 minutes. So that'll be cool.
They're not going to play Jalen Tyson, are they?
Yeah, they are. They absolutely are.
All right, hold on. Let me think about this. Mitchell, Strus, Allen, Jerome, Merrill, Wade, Okoro, Thompson is 8.
Correct. Yes.
I think Javonte Green is the next possible guy that touches the floor. And if it's anybody else, I think then it's Craig Porter. But I don't even think they're going to do that. Unless they have to. Like, if they're down and then you bring in Craig Porter. If you're up, then Tristan Thompson plays a little bit more. Like, I can see, like, because depending on how this is going, I think the backup center could be Dean Wade, not.
Yeah, I think Dean Wade has a chance
Tristan
to start.
Thompson.
Like, I think Dean Wade's got a chance to start at the 4, like for Mobley. Defensively, you put him up against Siakam. Siakam just thrashed him in game 1. Dean Wade makes a lot of sense, I think, in the starting lineup.
Yeah, I would imagine it's either him or Javonte Green, really, depending on what they're looking for. I think if it's Wade, then I think we're seeing Thompson. If it's green, then I think we might see small ball Wade more. Because that'll change up the substitution patterns a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see minutes for Tristan Thompson today too. Like, I gotta think Tristan Thompson's playing a couple 4-6 minutes. I'm going to put him in. Like
a rotation, sure, but like if you're matching Allen to Turner, I don't think Cleveland give too many fucks about going small against Thomas Bryant, Siakam, Toppin, whatever the 5 is in those scenarios where Turner's not on the floor.
It's fair. This might be your Isaac Okoro day. You were looking forward to it. You were excited for it. You're going to put him up for more than 0.61 fantasy points per minute too. Like when you remove Garland and Mobley, I'm gonna tap.
I don't know. He's a pretty bad shooter.
I know, but he's 3,100. We could do. I mean, you can't do worse on this slate actually. But Isaac Okoro, he's going to be interesting. I am very interested to see this starting lineup. If you remove Mobley, Garland. I mean, what are they actually going to be doing here today? It's going to be wild because, yeah, I do think.
Roderick Jones, it's not out. Please stop saying it in the chat over and over again. Thank you. Go ahead, Eric.
Oh, it's okay. Ty Jerome, Donovan Mitchell, Max Strus, Dean Wade, Jared Allen. That's my projected 5.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not even going to hypothesize. In 5 minutes, we'll know it.
Got to get Merrill out of there.
And I'd rather just not even deal with the fact that I'll end up saying somebody and they'll do something different. I trust nothing anymore. Nothing.
Travers starting tonight.
Yeah, that's Naquan Tomlin. That's a made-up human being, dude. That's not a real basketball player. Come on. I mean, on the Cavs, no less.
Yeah,
no. I've never projected that guy for a single minute all year.
I don't think I have either. Even in that Miami game, I don't think I did. Like the ridiculous Miami game where we finally got the full rest of everybody and they still murdered them to my understanding. But it's wild. Wild times.
Tanisha Morse and Donovan Mitchell has to have a big game for this to be competitive, right? There's a decent chance they're still the favorites when this is all said and done.
Shit, they're 7 point. Like, if you think that they're still like, just go ahead and wait. And whenever that news drops, you're going to be able to get Cleveland for free. You should probably, we're all probably doing it wrong. We should just take all of our DFS entries and just play +7 Indy right now. Like, I don't know what we're actually doing. You called it too. I was not as confident that Indy was going to be competitive as what you were.
I don't deserve credit.
You were way more confident.
I didn't have the balls to do anything about it. I didn't have the balls to do anything about it. So I don't want to take any real credit, but I did not understand any of it.
Yeah, you had the wheels turning for me a little bit. I mean, 9.5, 10, and you're just like, yeah, I have this at 8 or 7.5. I think it was one of the two where it was like a market different from the market. And I didn't do anything about it. But
just out of curiosity, was that interesting to you? Like you were like, oh man, I should probably think about that. Indy's a little bit closer to Cleveland. I should think about Josh's data because I asked you that question because I've got the Warriors as 1-point dogs.
Yeah, I talked last night at
So it's pretty good data, right? That's what you were saying?
I literally said on the show yesterday that you should bet Golden State +7.5, and I'm not going to do it out of spite. Like, I don't do that stuff. I don't say stuff like I'm more than happy to bet against my teams. But you know what? I was not going to put 100 of my hard-earned dollars on Golden State +7.5 in Minnesota today, knowing full well that I wanted everything opposite of that. I even talked about it at length. Like, it's a broken number. Like, I don't know why it was as wide and open as what it's at 6.5 now. I mean, obviously that was correct to some extent. I'm still shocked it's at 6.5 for what it's worth. It should be, I have it closer to like 4, but yeah, 1 is fascinating, Josh. 1 is fascinating.
I'm going to play a thought exercise with you. I did it on the strategy show this morning.
Okay.
I think we're probably on the same page here that the best player on both teams is Steph Curry and Anthony Edwards, right?
Yeah, 1A, 1B. I actually wouldn't even want to pick between the two of them in real life.
Perfect. That's exactly how I set it up on the strategy show. I was like, let's ignore opinions here. We will call them equals for this instance. That seems right?
Mm-hmm.
The second best player for both of these teams, feel free to name both of them.
Jimmy Butler. And then... my God. I mean, you got to see Julius Randle based on last series. Otherwise, I'd say Jaden McDaniels.
That's the intrigue for me. That you can make a realistic case that the two best players in the series by the time it's over, if the Warriors win, are going to look like Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler. At the very least, they could be 1 and 3 against 2 and 4. And if you have to overcome it at the top, that's where it becomes tough. That's my, like, if I needed to justify this thing, they might have the two best guys by the time the series is over. In a 7-game series, you want to tell me Jimmy Butler goes crazy in this one? I'm not going to tell you he didn't. I've seen it happen too much. Now I hate him. And I don't want him to do that. Go Minnesota. But
the one nice thing about this is that he's not like a 3-point threat. I know he made like a moving left 3 against Houston. Like, the nice part is that you can at least help off of him. You can go underneath some ball screen. Like, that's the good feeling that I have, because I do think McDaniels, as long as he stays out of foul trouble, which happened a couple of times in the Denver series last year, and going through it, this feels very similar in some ways, where it's just like you have the one guy, Jamal Murray, in that instance, and like that you need to just be in his face on the perimeter at all times, and that's Steph Curry, obviously. And I think Nickeil Alexander-Walker, I'm not going to have the DFS stand that I did once upon a time with him here, but this is going to be like a big series for Nickeil Alexander-Walker to make a pile of money, because he could really be long for this series. I know DiVincenzo was somebody that you had brought up as well. We projected for more minutes. He's going to
pause. Mobley out. Garland out. Hunter out. Woo, baby. Pacers steal game 1. Cleveland's dead. What up, Fields? Where you at? That one's for like 5 people, but the people that are going to get it are going to love it. Yo. What a doomsday scenario for Cleveland here.
So unfortunate. I mean, think about all the things that went right all year, and they were doing such a good job at monitoring everybody's minutes. And it's the same shit that they ran into last year. They just got bit by the injury bug at the absolute worst time. To have all 3 of them out, and I mean, Hunter's a guy that they gave up Karis LeVert for, knowing that Karis LeVert was probably a little bit better. I know Darko evaluated him a little bit better. That was something that you broke down pretty well when you looked at like the lateral move, but he made more sense for this roster, this win now Cleveland roster. And now that win now Cleveland roster is decimated. They're going to be rolling out Ty Jerome starting, which, I mean, he's had an unbelievable year, but like the fact that it's going to be somebody like Javonte Green, Sam Merrill again, or, Dean Wade, that's unbelievably bad luck if you're Cleveland.
It really is. I mean, I think, let me say this right now, because I want to make sure that we get this message out. I think we are very live for as many minutes as possible for Mitchell and Allen today.
Yes, I agree.
Like,
you could see 48. Like,
if they lose, they're fucked.
Yeah, they're dead.
They don't have a choice. This feels like 44 plus out of Mitchell, as many as you can get out of Jared Allen, realistically. In theory, add Strus to that list, but, if it's not fallen, it's not fallen. I mean, Mitchell is going to be, I don't even know. Do they have ownership numbers that high?
No, he's going to be infinity, and he should be. Ty Jerome should be infinity. They both should be infinity today. I mean, also, I feel really good about a lot of the props that I got down today. 5.5 assists for Ty Jerome is like plus 130, went to plus 105. It's going to be like minus 120 when it closes out here. Maybe it gets to 6.5, but like, I mean, there's so many things. Jared Allen's going to look ridiculous. I mean, I already had nearly 80% of him. He was my highest owned player at the time. I can't imagine that. Like, it's going to be easier to get away from Jared Allen now because his ownership's going to go way up. Like, I'm saying relative to ownership, it's going to be easier to get underneath. At 32, 33%, it was just so easy to be way over, and everything is different. But I guess now we just
Are they gonna throw a billion? Or like, every time Donovan Mitchell touches the ball, do you just naturally throw a double at him just to get it back out of his hands?
I think Strus is enough shooting. Ty Jerome's enough shooting where I don't think you do, but you probably do to some extent. Like, even if you played Donovan Mitchell at his opening 26.5 points number, you're rich already. Like, there's just no way, barring injury, that he's going to go. He'd have to go, like, you'd have to basically be Boston today. Like, you would have to go graveyard 25% from three, get completely slammed, and nothing happening to not exceed that number. Curious to see where it gets reintroduced, because it was up to 29.5 here when we started recording. 31, 32.5 is definitely live for it to reach those kind of levels. But yeah, as you said, the ownership number, 8,900 Donovan Mitchell, we're going to have projected for like north of 52 probably when it's all said and done here. I mean, I'm going to take his minutes and really ramp them up.
Projections are up.
Here we go.
Ownership should be done within the next 30 seconds. I already have the projections kicked out. I'm going to update that on the screen, and then we can start actually having some conversations about this slate, because now we have context. Because anything we would have said before, like, oh, so-and-so's 40%, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, nothing
didn't matter
until this.
Who's
your daddy?
All right.
Who's your daddy, Josh?
Jerome Mitchell, Strus, Wade, Allen. All right, so that does make me think that Tristan Thompson gets more run at the 5. Is
he going to be in play?
Are they just going to keep guarding Tyrese Halliburton with nobodies? Apparently.
How many minutes are we going to project Jared Allen for? And then by association, how many minutes are we going to project a flat 3K Tristan Thompson for?
6, 7.
Oh God. Okay. I'm just starting to think about
that was the Thompson answer, by the way, not the Allen answer.
Right. So Mitchell, Allen, Jerome, Strus. Like, there's no way that those 4 aren't going to be insanely popular. They all should be insanely popular. My question is, what is the other? Who's the other most interesting Cleveland piece? Like, Dean Wade's starting, but we all know Dean Wade is the worst fantasy producer this side of the Mississippi. Actually, the other side of the Mississippi. I'm on this side of the Mississippi, your side of the Mississippi. But like, fuck, this is going to be a disaster. Like, an absolute stone cold disaster.
Everything on the screen is updated. Everything's updated. 60% ownership to Donovan Mitchell.
Merrill and Jerome got to move, right?
Wait, did that not update?
No, Ty Jerome's still on the bottom bar, right?
That's Basketball Monster not updating it correctly. So it's going to be Jerome, bench, small forward.
They just fixed it over on Basketball
there we go.
Monster. Got that pulled up. Yeah.
I didn't know what you meant because I just source that automatically and don't think about it. Label wise, 60% ownership Jerome, 60% ownership Mitchell, 60 Allen, 55 Strus, 15 Wade, Merrill, Okoro.
We have nearly 2.5K people watching us too. Hit that like button. You're the absolute best for kicking it, watching it with us. This is the most I've seen on a stream. It's almost like there's pertinent information that's going on right now that people might be needing to tune in for. So yeah, I'm just trying to like logically think through this, because we've seen so many rotations during the regular season in these kind of scenarios, but this is a must-win playoff scenario. They trust Sam Merrill. He started last time out. I think Sam Merrill's the next most interesting guy after the core 4, being Jerome, Mitchell, Strus, Allen, who you should just play tons of today. There's no world where I'm playing less than 50% of any of them. Now, Sam Merrill, just coming off the bench, get his shooting out there. Isaac Okoro, that's more of your defensive guy. I think FanDuel probably a spot will fire him up a little bit more. I got to get in some FanDuel. I mean, this silly of me not to do this. I need to do this.
Just going to raise my hand and say one more thing here. The line that I see right now is out there at 5.5. I got it at 5.
Interesting.
Yeah, I can't wrap my head around it.
Wow. I said we should have just all taken this money and put it on Indy +7 and just sat back and enjoyed doubling our money today. That would have been fun, but
Cavs
alas,
are obviously winning this game, right?
I don't think it's that
Right.
obvious at all. I think it's the opposite of obvious. I think they are going to be very, 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 very somewhat reliant on a whistle. Like, you've got to keep your hands to yourself. You have got to be getting some calls as well going your way if you're Donovan Mitchell. Because as you said, Neesmith and Nemhard are going to just be in their domes the entire time. They can actually go, like, this is a free roll for Indy. This is the best free roll ever if you're Indy. Like, you truly get to go out and just say, yo, we got a chance to go 2-0 back to our crib and have it all set up. But like, from a DFS perspective, there's no way you get away from those four they're going to be underowned relative to, like, the boom bust tool is like broken today. Like, it's actually broken.
I mean, you don't see 64% optimal, 70% optimal, 56 and 63 all that frequently.
So, I mean,
just a reminder there, the total of those is 253, which means you're expecting 2.5 of them. So we are expecting one of those guys to fail miserably.
Yeah,
We just
and
don't know which
I'm
one.
hoping it's not Mitchell, Jerome, Allen, because those are the three I just can't get away from. Max Strus, you can make cases for. I'm probably not going to, so I'm not going to make a like half-assed case at trying to explain what it is that you could do for a fade there. Like, you can fade anybody in any one lineup in any contest from now until forever, depending on what else you're doing with your lineup. But like, I do think playing 150 today, you have got to really evaluate what your edge is. And I think your edge is just playing as much of those four as possible and mixing and matching some really disgusting game scripts. Like a closing lineup where Cleveland's down 20, or a closing lineup where Cleveland's up 20. I still think up 20, they still have their core guys out there because of how important this game is. They're the 1 seed. They need to win no matter what. And I think Craig Porter Jr., honestly, is the next most interesting guy after Sam Merrill. Like, thinking through it, there's a world where Craig Porter, I don't know, maybe I was just watching Twitter video and now I'm starting to like be a no ball guy, even though that's not what we do here. But I think Craig Porter Jr. at least has the ammunition to be able to go out and get buckets, can sub in for Ty Jerome, who I think is the guy who plays the least minutes of those core four guys. He's a really good fantasy producer. You're not going to play less of him, but like, I think Craig Porter Jr., if he plays well, we saw this in Boston. Go ahead.
I was just looking at my exposure.
Welcome to today. Welcome to today.
I figured I would have one of those guys in like 10, and it was just like I was going to have a big fade to talk. No, I don't.
No, I had 80-something% of Jared Allen before this show started. I'm just going to start running my stuff in the background. You want to talk about your page a little bit, because I do think that's very helpful to the people.
Yeah, we'll touch on. Actually, let me touch on the impact to the rest of this slate, because we're talking about Cleveland a lot, but these changes impact everybody else now too. So I'm just going to bounce to Golden State, DraftKings, FanDuel, high level thoughts, Minnesota, whatever, just to show everybody. Curry around 30% now on DraftKings. Butler is your highest owned guy. Draymond came down a bit to 30. No surprises. Very limited ownership to Peyton and Healed. Obviously, we still don't know the status of Gary Payton right now. 56% of the projected ownership is going to the first game right now. 44% to the second game. 170% to Indy. 281 on the last run for Cleveland. And I think that'll probably climb if we run it again. And I would expect that we run it again. On the Minnesota side, we have Ant now at 50%. He's so much easier to click on. He's not tied to the Indy Cleveland game. He's a real tough sell for me to get away from. I would have, like, you got to really like Golden State if you want to tell me you don't want Ant today at this point. 35% ownership to Randall as well. Again, we have more than enough salary to get the guys that score the most points. And that's going to be important for the Pacers. 30 to Halliburton, 30 to Siakam, 30 to Turner, 20 Neesmith, 20 McConnell. They're still pretty balanced. I mean, they're Jam City on FanDuel, but Indy's still pretty balanced on the DraftKings side. If you look at Cleveland on the FanDuel side, 60 Jerome, 60 Mitchell, 60 Allen, 45 Strus.
Let me ask you a question. I think this is fun, and this makes FanDuel more fun to me too. Ty Jerome, Donovan Mitchell, Jared Allen, Max Strus. So those are all going to be very, very popular pieces over there. They're 1, 2, and 3. And then where's Strus at? He's 7. All right. If you had to get rid of one and insert a new Cleveland piece to be your 4th, who would it be?
That was Jerome, Mitchell, Strus, Allen, correct?
Yep. So the core 4 being like the 4 guys that I think we all have projected for the most minutes. They have Dean Wade starting, not a good fantasy producer, even though he's going to pull some ownership. He's nearly 20% on FanDuel because he's got a pulse and he's 3,700. But let's just say, for instance, you remove one of those 4. People are playing a FanDuel tournament and something, and you are trying to decide one way to get different with Cleveland. Who would you remove and who would you put in their place as the other Cleveland piece?
Mitchell, Okoro.
You remove Mitchell and put Okoro in?
Yeah. I'll be happy. Like, if I'm removing Mitchell, then I'm going to be thinking like I just have Ant or Butler or Steph or 2 of those 3 at that point. And then in my mind, it's Indy sells out on Mitchell, doing everything they can to take the ball out of his hands. He's more of a facilitator than a scorer. He has to be involved in the game in a different way. Halliburton's cooking. They have enough shooting with Mitchell and Strus out there that they lean on Okoro to try to slow down Halliburton. I don't know. They didn't want to do that in game 1. Halliburton got guarded by Ty Jerome, Max Strus, and Sam Merrill like he's not Tyrese Halliburton. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine if Steph Curry was about to play today and we were like, well, Ty Jerome, Max Strus, and Sam Merrill are the matchups? You'd be like, no, they're going to put somebody else on him that's way better. They don't do that for Halliburton. I don't get it.
Yeah.
By the way, projections were updated again.
Yeah, Tyrese Halliburton got like a complete free pass. It was really, really painful. Because obviously we were way under. I had 6% Tyrese Halliburton last slate. That was unfortunate.
They're getting bigger. Jerome up to 73 on FanDuel. We just had an update hit 2 minutes ago. They're climbing on FanDuel, and I'm going to go ahead and assume that they're climbing on DraftKings here. 75 to Jerome, just shy of 70 for Mitchell. 55 to 60 on Strus and Allen. Do we want to talk through Sam Merrill, Isaac Okoro, Javonte Green, Tristan Thompson, Craig Porter?
I think that's
your guys Porter in that group, right?
Yeah, this is an extremely valuable portion of our time. And actually, I think what would be really helpful, just for the context, I'm not sure if you have the ability to pull it up, but we should pull up the single lineup simulator if you've got it, just so that people can see that are building one lineup, what the push and pull is of that lineup, because we're getting a lot of this question from Josh Gillum, and I think that this is the appropriate question if you're watching the show and you're trying to get information. 5 Cavs too many on DK? No, it's not, but I don't probably want to run into too many lineups where I'm playing 5 of them, and the 4 are so impossible to get away from today. Jerome, Mitchell, Strus, Allen. You're playing a bunch, and obviously we think one's mathematically one is more than likely to fail or under. Find a way to bust out there. But there's also an upside that exists for this next grouping of guys if you guess it right. And I think Merrill, the next most interesting, but let's talk through it.
All right, I'm gonna kick off a sim quick just so I have one ready, and then I'll pull up the single lineup sim for us.
Perfect.
Boop. What a wild slate. Don't forget, guys, live playback. I almost said live before lock. I'm already on it. Playback.tv/Stokastic. Myself and Greg will be watching the Cleveland and Indy game on playback. You can come join us. You can sign up and watch along with us on playback. Or if you don't want to, you can just listen to Greg and I. If you want to sign up at playback, you could also get yourself a little discount code for a single sport sim package at Stokastic. All you got to do is email support if you do sign up at playback for that one. I got caught up in that read and I slowed down on loading my projections.
You're just fun.
Right.
Dude, this is so fun. This feels like regular season NBA DFS to some extent, but it's
I can't pull up
crazy.
the single lineup sim right now.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to see if we could
I'm in and running that sim, so I can't get off of that right now. I'll set up another tab for it moving forward because we probably want to do that. Do you have anything run yet?
Yeah, I've got some stuff that I have one loose one, but then we got that update at 43 or 41 at 41. And I was like, I should just do it one more time here with the new ownership because everything went up. Mitchell went up another 5%. Good times.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this is just about done finishing. So I'm going to dump that into my file shortly and then we can take a look at it. Yeah, that Indy Cleveland line is 5.5 right now. And I have it basically the same. So
it's wild.
I'm not surprised, but just no one would have been thinking that. But right now, Cleveland with no Lee, no Darius Garland, and no DeAndre Hunter is still a 6-point favorite at home today.
Wasn't there 9.5 last night too? There was not. I think it was like 9 or 9.5 last night.
All right. Lineups are done. So whatever I'm about to see on the screen right now is likely going to be pretty close to what I play.
Holy shit.
I
have over 82% of all of those 4 guys I keep bringing up.
Here it is. Here comes the paste.
Mm-hmm.
88 Jerome, 81 Mitchell, 75 Allen, 55 Strus is where I stand, at least as of right now.
Wow.
What a world, brother. What a world.
I'm higher on Craig
No way that route
than we are.
Ooh, Jeff Williams with the super chat. Rank Wade, Javante, or Toppin, please. That's pretty easy. I don't think there's Wade, Javante Green, or Obi Toppin.
Wade, Toppin, Javante.
Yeah.
I don't think it's close either. Like, I think that's the order.
They're not even in the ballpark of each other. Dean Wade is a billion miles ahead of any of those two. And Javante Green is, while playable, not on the list for any realistic comparison between those guys.
Yep, agreed. Wish I could have actually made money with that starting lineup because that felt pretty sharp. But yeah, Dean Wade defensively, he's going to be out there 28, 30 minutes. Like, there's just a lot of utility to having his defense there. What?
All right, you ready for this? Here are my biggest stands today. Anthony Edwards, Dean Wade, Julius Randle, Jared Allen, Ty Jerome, Donovan Mitchell. Obvious. Here are the fades. The biggest one, Tyrese Halliburton. Next, Siakam. Next, Nesmith. Next, Turner. I don't like that at all.
It's tough scenes.
None of that makes sense in my brain.
I'm pasting this in. I have my lineups in here. Oh, nope, no, I don't, because they hate me. They did not like me.
Yeah. I should actually upload my lineups instead of just saying that they're on a sheet. That's not the way to do it.
All lineups. There we go.
You want to hit a nuke?
Yeah, people nuke. I got a disturbing play that I'm looking at that I'm considering. Go ahead.
All right. Hey, everybody. Do you want to know who we think is the best play overall? Well, watch this.
30 seconds. Indicator charge. 10, 9, 8, 7, 1.
Let's go, brother. Big time nuke time. I don't know if you're going Cleveland. I don't know if you're going off the beaten path here, or are you just going to be a total homer and pick Ant?
I kind of want to. Obviously, he's the guy that I'm going to be cheering for the absolute most out of anybody, just from a real life perspective. But from a DFS perspective, this is a wild, wild slate to be staring at. But there's one guy in the mid-range that we have not talked about at all for my Minnesota Timberwolves. And he's probably, looking through ownership now, I think my favorite play of the entire slate. So we think about Golden State. We think about what we just saw in Game 5. And we just saw Rudy Gobert go completely apeshit there. But before that, it was Nas Reed time. And I think it's going to be Nas Reed time, big time in this series. We've got him sub 25% right now, sitting at 21%, 22% over on DK. I think he could play a lot in this series against Golden State. There's ways that he can play the 5 against Draymond in those lineups. There's going to be a lot of chess match kind of stuff here early on, but you get a sub 5K Nas Reed, 4,600 on a slate like this, and you just have to, no matter what, just accept that in order to get different, you got to find one piece of differentiation. I am just jamming Nas Reed, hoping we run into the 30 minutes where he closes. He's going to play ahead of Gobert there, and Gobert gets the shorter end of the stick. I think against Golden State, very, very live to happen. Nas Reed, nuke of the night.
I have 15%. I am not a Nas believer in this series, so we'll see. I could be wrong. You see this team more than I do. My biggest stand is Ant right now, but I'm not going to go Anthony Edwards, nuke of the night. That's not fun. So I'm going to go with the guy that makes it seem like he's my accountant and not my second biggest stand. Dean Wade. Come on down, baby. Get your taxes prepared here. You are tonight's nuke of the night.
Oh my God. I have this lineup that's just 6 Cleveland guys and 2 Minnesota guys, and I think I'm going to roll it out here. This is quite the slate, Josh. This is quite the slate.
It really is. I'm a fan. I like it. Pick one, Wolves to win it all, or you win 100K, Eric.
I would want the Wolves to win it all. I would gladly pass up $100,000 to have to have a championship in Minnesota. The number would have to be north of 250K for it to matter to me to not pick it. Like you offer 250K to me today to not have the Wolves win this year. I think that's a pretty easy pass. I think I could probably do that. You get to like $500,000. I'm probably going to take $500,000. I'll take the $500,000 there. There's a middle ground there though. 100K, I know for a fact I've won 100K in DFS. Didn't change my life as much as I thought it would. Just didn't change it as much. You know what would change my life big time? Flying back home, going to an NBA Finals game with my dad in the arena that I grew up driving 3.5 hours to my entire childhood. There were random Saturdays my dad's like, get in the car, we're going. And we would just drive to Minneapolis, go to a game and drive back home. And it was the best. And to think about like the nostalgia along with the fact that I've never been consciously aware of a Minnesota championship, because 1991 Minnesota Twins doesn't count, even though I guess I was there, is what I'm told. 100K, I'm absolutely turning down for a Minnesota championship.
I would have done the same thing prior to the start of the Premier League season for Liverpool. I wouldn't even thought twice.
I was gonna say, now you're like, well, money's fun, so yeah, you don't have to run back.
Yeah.
Now I don't have to,
but I would have.
I've never had it. Clown answer? No, you're a clown. Fuck, kid. Catastrophe. Get off my lawn. That's how I feel.
I completely agree. For Liverpool in that scenario, I would have.
Team. I feel like I'd do that with certain iterations of the Twins. Absolutely.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. The money would be awesome. That's not what we're saying here. But like, you're gonna wake up the same way the next morning with it.
Yep.
That's all. That's all.
Spit on your team and you get both. Yeah, there's the compromise. Know that they're going to win and bet on them like it's the almanac.
We got 3.5 minutes left to go. Who wins both games?
Indy and Minnesota.
Indy and Minnesota. I'm with you.
Oh.
I think Wolves hold serve. I don't care that the line's 6. I liked the Pacers before. I liked the Pacers when it was Garland. So it's hard for me to not want to grab them here. It's where we stand. Playback.tv coming up shortly. Don't forget, guys, if you want to sign up for like the Portfolio EV tool, you want to do a little sports betting, we've been sharing it on playback for the past hour. Take a market-based approach to beating the book. 7-day free trial. Link in the description of this video if you want to sign up. Or if you want it for a month, you could sign up through an affiliate. Won't cost you anything, and you'll get it for a month. You could do either one of those two things. Highly recommend that you do. I'm excited to watch this first game. I'm really curious to see how Cleveland looks. Like, this is a very unique look for these guys, and it's going to be really weird out of the gate.
I feel as though the one guy that I just don't have enough of is Tristan Thompson. I have 4% Tristan Thompson. He's in exactly one lineup of mine and 2 lineups of mine. Nice math, Eric. 50 lineups, you dipshit. I have 4% of him, and I'm like, if anything happens to, I mean, there's a world where he could play alongside Allen just because they say screw it and try to do like that. Probably not. I'm talking out of my ass now. I'm just trying to find the one differentiator, the one guy. I think Craig Porter Jr. after Merrill Okoro, but like, it is so hard to click on these buttons today.
I really don't like how much Cleveland I have and the fact that I'm fading Halliburton and Siakam because of it. That feels like pretty incorrect in my mind, but
I talked to that Siakam game into fruition just by, I just knew after playing him, however long, I was like, and it didn't end up affecting me. Actually, he had 35. I thought it was worse than that watching it live. I don't know. Gary Payton sitting is also going to put a wrench in things later. So you do have some things that you need to be focused on from a late swap perspective. Gary Payton was sneaking in a little bit in the Sims tool as well. So you're going to want to pay attention to that. I'll try to just stop into the NBA DFS channel because I'm usually in Slack all night, every night. So I might as well stop on over there and we'll see kind of what happens for that talk showdown for the evening game. But man, this is probably the quickest hour we've ever had on a playoffs show. I mean, this is just nuts.
And it was wild too, because for the first half hour, we didn't know what we were about to talk about.
Just talking ball.
And now we're here. We're 15 seconds from lock. Cleveland's missing 3 dudes. Indy's trying to put them down 2-0. Golden State and Minnesota are kicking off soon. Tell everybody what you got going on right now before we dip.
Did I say Slack? I meant Discord. Hopefully you knew what I meant. Yeah, Discord. I'll hop in the NBA DFS channel there a little bit later. I need to know the platform that I'm going to be jumping into. But you can find me over on Tails, posting all my bets, all my pick'em cards, everything over there. You can catch me every single day in the Discord. Haven't taken a day off. Well, I took 1 day off this entire year. But otherwise, I'm usually betting, usually watching sports. So we're going to be firing some stuff up here throughout the night. MLB got that going as well. MLB DFS, I think tomorrow with Spags running that one back. I've got Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks on the OddsShopper channel. Busy, but wouldn't have it any other way, especially when the Minnesota Timberwolves are playing meaningful playoff basketball in T-minus 2.5 hours.
There we go, everybody. We are locked. We're going to watch some basketball. Good luck. Right now, playback.tv/Stokastic. Check out the link in the chat. Greg's there now. I'm joining him next. See you later.